This is it, episode 560, No Laugh Track Podcast, here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. My name is Justin Severson, gets to host this each and every week, including with my three-time guest here, once as part of Crash and Burn, once in January of last year, his first solo week at Acme, and then back again for more, Andy Woodhull.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
What's up, Andy?
Well, nothing. It's the middle of the day. I didn't have anything going on, so I once again had no excuse not to do your podcast.
You needed to do a shopping trip. You were telling me, and it was successful. You didn't have a chance.
I don't know that it was successful or not. Oh. We'll see. I had to buy some memory cards. I needed memory cards, and they're hard to find, I guess. This must be the chip shortage I keep hearing about.
Yeah, that traces back to freaking Biden, COVID.
I left the Target, and then I was like, well, Walgreens has a photo department. Walgreens might have some. And I walked into the Walgreens. Walgreens might not have had Kleenex. I've never seen a Walgreens look like it was going out of business more than the one in downtown Minneapolis here.
I think that I've been into that Walgreens downtown Minneapolis. Yeah. Isn't everything behind bars?
There's a lot of stuff locked up, and then there's just also empty shelves. I think they're about to turn it in. They're either the most successful or they're about to go out of business.
You did see an employee at some point.
Yeah, there were employees in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're back at Acme for another headlining week, and it's I have notes here about a lot of things that are different than last time you were here.
Great.
But first thing I want to talk about is what you've already mentioned, that you're recording.
Yeah, I'm recording. You know, this comedy business, you got to put stuff out. You got to sell stuff. So I like every 2 to 3 years doing a comedy album, and then the jokes get to go on Spotify, Pandora, Sirius. It's a fun way to finish jokes and then start with a new batch of jokes. And I love this club. Everyone loves this club. So when I had this on my schedule and I felt like the hour that I'm doing now is at a good spot, I thought for sure I should record this week. So this is it. This is going to be my 7th time doing it.
Seventh time
making a comedy album.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's
hard
to believe.
The last time we were here, we had talked about I think the most recent one was a thing in Philly that you had
Pumpkin
recorded.
Spice Season was my most recent one.
Oh, yes, Pumpkin Spice Season.
In Philadelphia, Pumpkin Spice Season, yeah.
Which, coincidentally, I saw a post on Facebook today, someone announcing the Starbucks official fall menu. I think
it's already started. I was at my in-laws last week, and they got me a 6-pack of pumpkin beer, so it's already begun. I got a pumpkin soap yesterday, too. That's a hotel hack for people that travel a lot. You know, sometimes hotels have nice soap, and not to say this hotel doesn't have nice soap, but
careful.
There is a Whole Foods in walking distance, and for like $1.50 or $2, you can get like a very fancy bar of soap, which is what I do sometimes to treat myself, especially if it's the first pumpkin spice soap of the season.
Stop.
So if you smell me hard, you're gonna get some cinnamon and some clove coming off.
The first of the season.
Yeah, they just sprouted. And they're out there in the grocery stores.
Now, I'm thinking, is this also a hack to make it seem like you're at a nicer hotel?
I have not thought about it that way. I've just thought about it as like a lifestyle thing of, I have this luxurious soap to use. That's a fun part of my day,
This boutique hotel.
Sometimes hotels have like a nasty smelling soap too, so it's fun to do then too, but most of them are fine.
Oh, I've remember back in the days where they would leave out like stuff and you could bring it home with you, which seems to be rare these days. Mm-hmm. There would occasionally be a lotion that 6 months later you put it on. And I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. I never should have brought this home. This is absolutely terrible. I'm wondering. I don't even know if you'll be able to answer this question, but what would?
I'll answer it.
Come up with something. What would be your recording this week?
Yes.
So, what's the oldest joke? What's the one you've been working on the longest that will finally be recorded?
Oh, that's easy because there was one joke on Pumpkin Spice Season. I edited it out because I felt like it wasn't ready yet, but it was about going mountain biking with my now wife's friends.
Oh, yeah.
When we were on a couples trip together, and it was like brand new when I recorded it. I felt like, I don't think it's quite ready yet. But now it's great. Now it's a couple years old. It's tight. Got lots of punchlines in there. I'm liking the way it is, and it's time to let it go. So this will be it for that joke this week, probably.
Will this be audio and video?
Audio and video, yeah, audio and video. It's going to be low-key video. I'm going to just be releasing it on my own YouTube station.
Okay.
Unless any of the big streamers out there want to contact me right now. But it will just be easy to find on my YouTube station.
Okay. Okay. Now, last time you were here, I brought up the fact that I'd seen your show the night before, and I brought up the fact that, like, at some point you explained to the crowd, like, look, I have some jokes here, and if you've seen me before, I was once married, then I was divorced, divorcee, stepdad.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Now I have a girlfriend.
Yes.
Now that has changed again.
Yeah, that girlfriend is now my wife.
Congratulations.
Now, yeah, I think we got engaged not long after because I was here I was January 2023. Is
Yes.
that right? And then, we got engaged in April, and we got married this February. So, yeah, married. I used to have to explain it because so many people knew me from these dry bar comedy specials where I talked about being married and having stepkids, and then the amount of confused faces I would see looking at me while I was telling jokes about my girlfriend is just insane. You know,
Especially-
comedy it's so common now, and it's a fun way to do comedy and a fun way to listen to comedy when it's very personal to the comedians' lives. But as audience members, we have to realize that comedians aren't putting everything in their sets. So you might just want to assume they're not a monster and listen to the joke. Be like, I might have missed an episode, but that's not the way people on the internet react to the jokes as they go.
I get the feeling you probably feel like you're never going to be done explaining that to at least one person. Huh?
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Probably true.
Yeah, and plus those, for people who don't know dry bar, that's, very clean
Yes.
comedy. Maybe, some listeners that don't ever go past that, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
hearing the girlfriend,
I
wait
know.
a minute, what's going on here? What's going on? So many questions. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Did you, like me, second marriage.
Second marriage is the best, don't you think?
Pete
Like
Lee
if
was
I
here.
got to put them next to each other, I'm picking the second one every time. There's no question about it. It's not even close. I bet 100% of people that are second married would say that the second one is the best. They get better as they go. Isn't that interesting? Like nobody is like, nah, the first one was the best. Second one, that's the real one. If anyone's in their first marriage out there, get out. Start being happy. Get to the second one.
It's almost like you're writing anniversary cards for Hallmark with messages like this.
Yeah, jot these down. Jot these down. These are going to be hot sellers.
Pete Lee was here a few weeks ago, and we bonded over the same thing as well.
Second married.
Recent second
Yeah,
marriage for
Pete.
him.
I mean, I don't know him very well, but he looks very happy. I think he would agree. Second, even better.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know what I didn't know about? I've been trying to do jokes about this a little bit, but you get to do it all again. Second bachelor party was the best. I didn't think I was going to get to do that. I thought my friends would be like, no, dude, we already did it once. But I brought it up, and everyone was like, yeah, 100%. We had so much fun. This is the joke that I've been trying to do, like at the end of the bachelor party, and it's not really even much of a joke. We drew names out of a hat to see who gets divorced next so that we can keep having bachelor parties.
As you get older, it's hard to get
When we were young, we didn't have as much money. Now we got money. We're having fun, you know?
You have money now, and as you get older, it's hard to get together with the guys.
It is.
So
and so the guys are even more willing. The first one, some of the guys are like, nah, I got stuff going on, my kids. And now everyone's like, yes, 100. I'll do anything. I'll take time off work. Everybody wants to go to the second bachelor party. What country are we going to?
Were there any volunteers in your group? They're like, it's going to be me.
No, there weren't. I do have a couple single friends, so maybe it'll be one of them.
Okay. What did I'm curious? What did you do for this second bachelor party?
We came
that you're willing to talk about.
Oh yeah, we didn't do anything scandalous either. That's another thing. When you're young, you go to like strip clubs or whatever. You have fun, but we had real fun. We rented this Airbnb place in Wisconsin, and I just met up with like all my best friends throughout all the different phases of my life. And this place had like a volleyball court and a basketball hoop and shuffleboard and darts. Any game you could ever think of, they had it. They had a room that was like a beach. It was crazy, man. There was a room that was a beach in there. And so we just got, good booze. There was a fire pit at night. We had good food, smoked cigars, ate weed gummies. We just had a wonderful, magical long weekend of bro time. It was the best. It
This
was the
sounds
best.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You didn't stop in like a comedy club somewhere and ruin someone's night with your group, though?
No, I didn't. But I'm pro bachelorette. I'm one of the few comedians that's pro bachelorette parties. I like that they come to comedy clubs. I've had very few negative interactions. I think more likely to have negative interactions if you're aggressive towards them, you know? The bachelorette party. I have fun with bachelorette parties. I'm not anti. I'm coming out hot on the other side of it. I'm the only pro bachelorette party at comedy. Come on out. It's a weird choice, and one because I don't think it's necessarily you want to sit and listen when you're at a bachelorette party or a bachelor party. You want to visit with your friends that you rarely get to go out with. But
Right.
I'm a big supporter of anyone choosing stand-up as what they want to go to celebrate.
I saw
something.
recently, I was out somewhere there was an obvious bachelor party at this event.
Yeah.
And the bachelor was wearing a sash that said bachelor. Your thoughts?
Well, I'm pro fun. If that's what he likes to do, he should do it. I'm not shaming anybody's fun. I'm not yucking anyone's yum, as the young people say. You like to wear a sash, you should wear a sash. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I'm not gonna Sebastian Maniscalco. You're wanting to wear a sash. You want to wear it, you wear it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I do have a question about like when like a bachelorette party or anybody else that shows up wants to talk to the wants to do a little crowd, wants to talk to the performer. I have a question specifically about that. What is the percentage? Give a percentage of funny things when someone in the audience is trying to be funny. What's the percentage of that actually being funny?
Well, when they're trying to be funny, it's about 5% of the time. 5% of the time, it is funny.
Okay.
I don't hate interacting with it. I'm not trying to get a new crowd work clip every show. That's not who I am, but I do enjoy interacting with the audience. And the only time I find it annoying is if they don't stop. You know, if you have one interaction and it's fun, that's amazing. You have a second one, it's like, okay, let's move on. And then you have a third one, that's when this is a very annoying audience member. And I hope this doesn't cause everyone at all of my shows to try to have one moment where they talk to me. But I do like natural moments that happen live and will never be recreated, which is why I'm on the fence about crowd work clips even. You know, I've done them sometimes. Yeah. But sometimes I feel like, wouldn't it be nice if that just lived at that show and that was it? And that was the only time that ever happened, and so the people that saw I don't know. It's probably a stupid way to think about it, or just it's my laziness and not wanting to cut clips to try to rationalize why I shouldn't be doing it for some purity reason. But
how much time are you spending on social media these days?
I try to keep to a posting schedule, and I'm like everyone. I can get sucked in.
Yeah.
I can get sucked in. You look at one thing. I want to watch Steph Curry hitting that 3 again over those 2 French guys, and then the next thing you know, I've been watching clips for an hour. It happens so easily. You have to be like crazy strict with yourself about the phone, or else it's so easy. There's nothing more depressing than that text alert at the end of the week that says how much time per day that you've been on your phone, and I just feel like I've really been on it 5 hours a day.
I'm like, wait, that's Spotify. That doesn't count. I wasn't like staring at it. It was just playing.
Yeah, I would love to have a reason, but I'm on it too much, and it is mostly social media.
I wanted to search your TikTok the other day to see what you were posting on there, and I didn't. It's so funny. I was conscious about you were on a time limit. Do not only find that search circle, put his name in, go directly there. Do not get into the For You stuff. Next thing you know, I'm watching. I was responsible. That's all I did. I didn't get sucked.
I don't know what I like more. I love when I post something. I love to check to see how well it's doing, and I love to interact with people that want to comment on it. But it seems as if I also love, and it seems like I hate it, but I must love it because I do it just as much reading something mean someone wrote and then obsessing about it for the entire day and fantasizing about what I'm going to write back to them. Both things I spend a lot of mental energy on.
Yeah. Yeah, what did you do? Go then punch a wall or
No,
take
I
your
just
dog
come-
for a walk? What do you
I
do? To
do.
get that
I
up?
take my dog for a walk, and I invite my wife to come with me, and then I complain to her the whole time. And she's like, I mean, you just have to ignore it. But if I ignore it, then I can't read the nice ones. You know?
Yes.
Because some of them are nice.
Yeah.
And I don't talk about those with her for hours on end, but they're all on there. So I don't know.
Yeah, there was an episode of the podcast recently that got a lot of feedback on the comments, and it was like positive, 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 positive. Negative was like the seventh one. I'm like,
Yeah, it's almost as far as clips go, I almost am like, oh, this one's starting to do really well if it starts getting negative ones. Because the positive ones are usually the first ones. That's like people that follow you and people that like you. And when the clip starts going viral or being popular or whatever you want to call it, that's when the negative ones come in and they can bug you. And then I try to tell myself, oh, if the negative ones are coming, that means a lot of people are probably seeing it.
It is. It's true. It is true. It is the positive way to look at that. So since we are talking about social media, I saw. It was in your stories today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
You reposted a little thing about like first concert, last concert, all this stuff.
I saw that and it seemed fun. And then my friend screenshot it and made fun of me. I'm just trying to have fun on the internet, man.
Remember, it was the early days of like Facebook. That's all we did.
Yeah.
Was like rank your top 5 anything, right?
I don't even remember that, but you're saying it and I am remembering it now. And it's fun. I saw multiple people do that post and then I was thinking about what my answers were. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put my answers out there. And I spent some time thinking about it. And then almost immediately I got a text from some friends. What are you doing giving out your internet passwords for?
Oh, please.
I don't know. I don't even make bands by internet passwords. I was just getting made fun of by everyone on the internet.
First concert was ska against racism?
Yeah. I went to a concert called Ska Against Racism. I loved ska music and punk music when I was young. And I drove to Milwaukee from Elkhart. I think my brother was living in Milwaukee. And I drove up there and we went to see Ska Against Racism. Real Big Fish was there, Less Than Jake. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, I think. You know, all the hot ska bands of the late 90s.
It was 1998, to be exact.
Oh, that was the year as a senior in high school, so it makes a lot of sense. Also, a funny thing that happened, I don't know if it's funny or not, but I got a T-shirt, and it was a small T-shirt. And I wasn't big, but I probably shouldn't be wearing a small T-shirt. But it was just the last T-shirt they had, and then I wore it to school because I wanted to be like, hey, look, I went to Ska Against Racism. And then this one cool black guy I knew, he goes, hey, you should never wear that shirt again. And I never followed up with him to be like, if he didn't like what was on the shirt or if he felt like the shirt was way too small for me.
Oh, my God.
But either way, I did never wear that shirt again.
And it didn't end racism.
No, and it didn't. Ska's still against it, though, as far as I know.
I did a little research on that.
And so am I, by the way. I'm still pro-ska, anti-racism.
For the record, let's get that out there. I need to read something to you. I found out about this. The Ska Against Racism tour was a one-time tour of the United States organized by Mike Park, a Korean-American musician. The audience was mainly young, white, hardcore ska devotees.
We were skanking, baby.
You were. Okay, the purpose of this tour was to overcome racial barriers in a nonviolent and peaceful manner. This is my
They
favorite.
didn't see what was going on in that mosh pit.
This is my favorite part. According to the band, the Blue Meanies, few of the bands playing in the tour were committed to the message. The tour had very little emphasis on racism. Bands would occasionally say, racism sucks, but that's it.
Well, I mean, in defense of the other bands, that's not what you want the concert to be. They're doing the concert to promote an anti-racism message. That should be enough. I don't know that they have to give long, thought-out speeches. They're trying to put on a show. I don't know.
You're defending it because of the T-shirt. I get it.
It was fun.
I'm sure it
I didn't walk
was.
away being like, I didn't hear enough anti-racism stuff. You know?
I'm not convinced.
I don't know that they really believe it. I don't know. It's interesting you find that out. And it's interesting they only did it 1 year.
Yeah. It turns out they didn't make a ton of money to give to the they were giving money to anti-racism groups. It ended up after paying all the bands, there was only $15,000 left.
Wow. Well, they didn't buy enough shirts because I could have used one in a large or a medium.
I know. I think it had to do with their supply chain, clearly, much like those microchips. I you put out on your set last night. You mentioned the State Fair. This State
Yeah.
Fair is going on right now as well.
State Fair. It's going on
Minnesota
right
State
now.
Fair. Are you going to head over there? Some free time?
I've been thinking about it. I would like to head over there. I need to figure out some logistics that won't be fun to talk about for your podcast, Charlie, but I do need to find a way over there. I'm planning on it. I don't know when yet, but I am planning on it.
You grew up in Indiana.
That's right.
Were Indiana State Fair a thing for you growing up?
I'm not sure that I ever went to the Indiana State Fair. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if I did, but I got to imagine it was in Indianapolis, which was a 4-hour drive from where I live. So
Yes.
I know I went to the Elkhart County Fair many times. I probably went to the State Fair. I don't know. I've been to other state fairs. I think I've been to Illinois and to Iowa's. For sure I've been to.
Tracking one of your old albums.
Pardon? Yeah, Iowa State Fair. Yeah, I went there, and it was very fun.
Are you an adventurous? Will you eat anything at one of those places? Like if they're like, "Here, we're gonna go get deep fried, crocodile or something." Would you snack on that?
I'll try just about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
$3 all you can drink milk. That's a thing there.
They have that there.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. I'll give that a shot.
When I was little, I think it was only like a quarter or 50 cents.
Really?
Inflation has slightly caught up.
What, can you walk around with your glass and go back whenever you want, or do you
I
have,
mean,
do you
I
have to drink all the milk in a row?
I think you need to stay close. I think you need to stay close.
Can you go get like cookies or cakes from other places?
I mean, you're doing it wrong if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You bring those along.
I'm definitely going to check out that all-you-can-drink milk. And I'm going to drink more milk than anyone's ever drank at the fair. I can't wait for the show that night.
Guess the only thing I drank today.
All I've had to drink today is 8 glasses of milk. I tried to get my money's worth while I was at the Minnesota State Fair.
Yeah, let's see. Well, a gallon at the grocery store near me is about $3. So you better put down over a gallon to get your money's worth.
Wow.
Right?
Wow. You know what? Much like comedians that don't hate bachelorette parties, I think I'm one of the few people that still drink. I'll drink milk. I drink it sometimes. I was in this writer's room in LA, and it was someone's birthday, and they brought in cake, and I was like, I want some milk. And people, and then I was like, cow's milk? And people looked at me like I slaughtered a calf in front of them. You've never seen, I've never felt more persecuted as a Midwesterner than being in California and saying I want a glass of milk to go with a slice of cake. People turned on me fast.
You could have told them that you quit drinking recently.
Yeah.
And would have got
The milk's the only thing that's getting me through this. I told a story. I don't think this has made it into the set that's getting recorded on the show because I never did like an amazing version of it. Maybe I'll try it again on the recording. But I won the lottery. I won a scratch-off ticket, and my wife and I went to a restaurant we love. And then at the end of the meal, I ordered a s'mores brownie because we just won $1,000 from a scratch-off ticket. Well, I'm going to get a dessert. And the bartender is like, it's very dense. I just want to warn you, people complain how dense it is. And I said, I would love a glass of milk. And he laughed at me. He laughed at me. Other people at the bar turned and looked at us. It was crazy. And then he did bring me milk, but like in a wine glass. And he was laughing, and I offered to pay for it. And he's like, no, it's on me. In fact, I don't even have a way to charge you for it. This is an ingredient that goes in other things. No one has ever asked for a full glass of it before. So I'll for sure check out the all-you-can-drink milk station.
Would you like a handful of salt and pepper as well?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. A sprinkle of wheat. Wow. And then last time you were here, you were not doing a podcast at that time, and you are now.
Oh yeah, now I'm doing a podcast. I do it with Tommy Johnigan and Alex Stone. It's called The Backyard Hang. They were doing a podcast for years and years called The Local News.
Yeah.
And I would be a guest on it from time to time, and they're two of my closest friends. And I think I eventually made them feel guilty about hanging out with me and without me enough that they let me be on the podcast, and we rebranded it as The Backyard Hang. And we do it in Tommy's backyard, and it's very fun. And I mean, we try to just make people laugh is all we try. That's their old podcast, The Local News. I don't know, the summary of it was news that won't make you sad, and we kind of kept that spirit.
There's no politics on this.
Yeah, there's
thing.
no politics.
Yeah.
There's very little pop culture,
Yeah.
and it's just we're trying to be funny for the whole thing, and we hope people will listen to it and then feel good afterwards, not riled up and go get in fights with their coworkers and family members. That's the whole point of it.
So I have to tell you that I listened to a few, and
Thank you.
At one point, I forget who said it or what was the reference, but someone said that it was like the West Coast Tuesdays with Stories. Tuesdays
yeah.
with Stories is my favorite podcast.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So I'm now a fan. Like, I'm subscribed. I'm into it. I really enjoyed what I heard.
Thank you very much, dude. That's
Exactly
very nice of you. I
what
hope
you're doing
other
on that
people
pod.
find it.
It's exactly what I like. Yeah, I love the swapping of stories and everybody. It's great.
Thank you.
It's great.
Thank you.
And I've been a fan of Tommy John again since way back.
Yeah, he's great.
Is he still doing
He's great.
stand-up, by the way, at all?
No, he hasn't been doing any stand-up. Right before the pandemic, he was getting back into it a little, but he hasn't been doing much. He was a successful television writer. He's got a couple daughters. He got a beautiful family, great career, being funny, and I'm sure he'll come back to stand-up at some point. But if you miss Tommy, listen to our podcast and watch that 90s show. That's the show he most recently wrote.
Right.
It's on Netflix.
That's right.
So
That's right.
we play a game every episode for as long as episodes last. I don't remember how many there are, maybe 15 or 20. But every week, Alex and I try to guess a joke from that 90s show that Tommy wrote, and we're up to episode 4 this week. And so if you listen to our show, you could write to me on Instagram or Alex or our Instagram account and put in your guess, and we're going to see who gets the most jokes that Tommy wrote, me, Alex, or the audience.
That's
by
fun.
the end of the season.
That's really fun. Speaking of TV shows, you also are on a TV show now.
Yeah.
The host.
Wow, a lot has changed since the last time I was here.
Yes.
I'm married and I hosted a TV show.
Yes.
Isn't that fun? Yeah.
You do the Tonight Show now for people that don't know.
I host a show called Totally Funny Animals on the CW, which is a
C-Dub.
network. Yeah, which is a network that used to be like a cool thing of like, is it cable or network? Because network was good. And now it's like, is it streaming or can I not figure out how to have it? Because I don't know how to get the channels that you get for free with the TV. Nobody knows how to get it. There's also an app, the CW app. You can watch it on the app. It's it's America's Funniest Home Videos with only animals and me, the host. That's the whole selling point of it. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And
How
that's
did
fun.
you get to be doing that?
Well, I auditioned to host it. I got recommended. I auditioned to host it. Then I did a second audition. And then it just happened fast. I finally found out I was getting the job, and then 3 days later we were shooting 30 episodes.
Holy crap! Is it one of those where you do a whole bunch in one day? And
Yeah,
just rail
I
them
mean
off?
the show we did 30 episodes, and we shot all 30 in 5 days.
Yikes!
Yeah, it was insane. I had never hosted a show before. I think I was significantly better by the end of the run than I was at the beginning.
Okay.
And that everyone else thought that too, because they released the episodes from the final day of shooting before the episodes from the beginning of shooting.
Whatever works.
To try to be like, no, it's good for real, make people like it before however awkward I was in the first couple thing. And it was a blast. And that was all the on stage stuff. And then there was 10 more days of voiceover for the videos, because I do the animal voices during the videos, the narration and the animal voices.
And it's, as you said on stage last night, it's just you doing
it's just when you watch it, you're like, what is it, 10, 20 people doing these voices? The range on this guy. No, you don't really think that. I have been telling a joke about I only do 3 voices, like a low voice, a high voice, and a southern accent, which is probably offensive, but I think it's the only accent you can do offensively and not get into trouble for.
Wait a minute. Which animals have southern accents?
The dumb one. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Just sometimes I'm like, oh, I do a southern accent. I don't know. I did try to do a Boston accent for every Boston Terrier in the show, and I haven't seen that any of that made it, because they always made me do second and third takes.
Sure.
You know?
Oh, sure.
So I haven't seen that any of those made it.
That's so funny.
But my wife's from Boston, and she hates my Boston accent. She thinks I do a bad job.
Oh, that means you're nailing it. Well, I put the show on the other night,
Okay.
and
okay.
I have to tell you,
Uh-huh.
my almost 5-year-old daughter was so mesmerized
Well,
by what
I
was
will
going
say
on that screen.
that's who it's for. It's for kids. It's a for kids show. I hope we get to do another season, and I hope in the next season I get to have a bigger part in writing the jokes. They have like a whole team there that wrote the things. It wasn't exactly my sensibilities, but people worked very hard on it,
Okay.
and I think they did a good job. And I would love to be a bigger part of it. But we still don't know if there's going to be season 2. Or not, but I think if you have kids, I think kids will really like it, and I also think if you have grandparents would like it. I think that's who would like. It's it's the format that's popular from America's Funniest Home Videos, and also from TikTok and Reels.
Yeah.
It's like if you scroll TikTok and Reels, maybe you've even seen a lot of these videos. But if you aren't on those platforms, then this is how you can get that style of videos and that style of comedy, which is, I think, why they made the show.
If there was ever an episode like they had to like put behind a paywall where it ends like with a only one animal survives, I'd be in on that as well.
Well, that's a good idea. I'll pitch that to them. Let's see if we can start killing off some of these animals. The least funny one has to die.
Hey, yeah, there we go. Battle of the bands, man. Come on. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Is there anything else we should be mentioning? I looked up. The thing I like to do. I think I did it last year. Last time we were here is I'll look up stories from people's hometowns
Oh, sure.
and see if there's something interesting. This is just a headline from Elkhart, Indiana.
Okay.
Elkhart man wins new truck from Menards sweepstakes. That was a big headline.
It was
this
pretty
morning.
good.
Yeah.
Menards had a great jingle. Are you familiar with Menards?
Of course.
Menards. Are there Menards around here?
No. We could reach out of the
Oh,
door
there was.
here.
Oh, so you probably had the jingle too, but I think it's a little bit of a regional store. I don't think it's everywhere in the country.
I don't. Yeah, Midwest.
But you can't say Menards without me singing to myself. You say big money when you shop Menards. Oh gosh, it's a classic.
It is a classic. It absolutely is a classic. I used to have a job in radio where I would dub the commercials into the system so they would get played on the air. I would have afternoons where I would have to play the whole 60-second Menards commercial, and then
the extended cut.
And I mean, dozens at a time, over and over and over again. And at the end, you had to set a little mark, where it would trigger the next commercial. So I would hear that "Save big money at Menards." I mean, hundreds of times some days because I would try to hit that little spot perfectly. The sectone, it was called. Yeah, so I'll never forget those.
So no one
well.
more familiar with it than you.
Yeah, I'll never forget those as well. Final thing I want to mention: you have merch at the shows here.
Yeah. I mean, I always have had, not always, but the last several years I sell merch. A lot of comics sell merch, most of us because we have to, and some of us because we want to. And I sell it because I have to. I have to get that little bit extra scratch, goes a long way. I sold T-shirts for a long time, and then I just get so frustrated with T-shirts because I at least have not been able to predict sizes, and it's so frustrating. You'll go somewhere and you'll sell out of one size. I bet the Sky Against Racism people have the same complaint. You sell out of a size and you're like, oh, I left so much money on the table because I didn't have the right size. And so
Clearly.
Every week on the road, in addition to packing my stuff, I'm packing a bag of shirts that I have to check, and it's heavy and whatever. So I just thought, and I tried it last year. I ordered a bunch of hats last year. I might have even had them.
You did
when I was here.
You
and
did.
But the problem with those hats was they were like $25 each. That's what I was paying for them. So I had to charge like $40, and nobody. I sold them all, but I felt bad of how expensive they had to be for me to make money off of them. So I'm trying a couple different hat companies to see if I can get cheaper prices for me, so I can sell them for cheaper. And then it's also only one side. This is I wonder if this is interesting to people that watch comedy, but I like it's fun to sell merch and it's fun to buy merch from a show that you had a good time at.
Yes.
And so I try to only sell things that I would wear myself, and I have all of my own merch, and I do wear it when I'm not going to be around any other comedians because I don't want anyone to make fun of me. So yeah, I have hats that have a saying on it from one of my jokes, which is I'm not swiping, I'm wiping, which is ridiculous. I just think it's a silly thing to have on a hat. It's yeah. I don't know.
That hat should have its own stand at the Minnesota State Fair. Let me tell you.
But yeah, it's a fun thing. If you go see a comedian, go buy their merch, talk to them afterwards. They're hanging out because they need your validation. That's why I do it. And I have stickers. I give away stickers. If you come to a show this weekend, I'm giving away stickers of our podcast, The Backyard Hang, just trying to get people turned on to it. So they'll give it a listen.
Free stickers, ladies and gentlemen.
Free stickers. Yeah.
Free stickers.
Mhm.
You pay for the
They're
show,
free.
you leave with a free
Yeah.
sticker.
I do like to emphasize that they're not free, like in the world. I paid for them, so respect them when you take them.
Damn it. Andy, thank you.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun chatting
As
as always.
Thank you. I expect at least 3 brand new fun things to talk about by the time you come here next year. All right? We have a
Yeah.
minimum of 3.
I'm sure I'll get there. I have a whole year to do 3 more life-changing events. What were the 3 this time? Wedding, hosting a TV show, and being on a podcast.
Yeah.
Those 3, yeah. So that's a tall order for the next time, but we'll see.
Pressure's on. Thanks, man.
Thank you.